Alright, hey guys, I just wanted to introduce the first project that I'm going to be working on the server, the first big one that I'm going to be recording and making a video about. So a lot of the future projects that I'm going to want to make are going to require both slime blocks and sticky pistons, so many sticky pistons. So in order to be able to stay on top of that, what I'm going to need is a slime farm. So this right here that I have outlined is the slime chunk. I'm going to be digging it out all the way down to bedrock. Got a little base set up here with some chests and gonna put a bed in there so I can reset it to daytime. Not anything special, just throw it together real quick so I'd have, a safe place to hang out while I'm over here doing stuff. So I'm gonna get this dug out to bedrock, and that's the first step, and then I will show you what comes after that to set up a slime farm. Alright. Alright guys, just a bit of a progress check here on the project we got going on, digging out this here slime chunk. As you can see, I've made some pretty good progress. I'm not quite done yet, but I have in fact seen some slime spawning down there, so that's pretty exciting. Just lets me know I didn't goof up horribly to dig out this whole chunk and not even have it be a slime spawning chunk, because that would just stink so very much. The walls are looking pretty ugly, but I definitely intend to dig this out a little more. I'm probably going to make it a little wider just to give a little extra breathing room, as well as fill it all in and make it look nice. I'm not sure if I want to take on the project of filling it in with a whole nother block or if I just want to patch in the holes. Not sure yet. I still got to play around with that. But either way, some pretty solid progress coming, and I was pretty excited about it and just wanted to show what we've achieved so far. So I will check in again when I've got some more progress. Alright, hey guys, just wanted to do a quick status update on the slime farm. It's not a direct update on the slime farm itself, but instead I wanted to share that I decided I'm going to replace all the walls with green stained clay, which is quite an endeavor. So I'm going to require a large amount of cactus green, so I went ahead and threw together this kind of quick, ugly, automated cactus farm. One actually just popped off there. If you're interested in how this works, I am eventually going to make a better, nicer looking one, and when I do, I will upload that onto my channel as a guide for an automated cactus farm. But I just wanted to show real quick how I am intending to get enough cactus to replace all those walls with the green clay. Alright, hey guys, I just wanted to give one more quick status update before I actually begin the endeavor of building the slime farm. So, I have been very successful thus far, getting all the way down to bedrock. You can actually see a couple slimes in there playing around. But it was quite an ordeal, as when I got down to the very end of it, we hit a huge lava field. And I'm glad that my friend James came to help out at that point, because we ended up digging out somewhere between 5 and 6 stacks of obsidian, I believe, and that was just, as you can imagine, super duper fun. So, my plan from now is to punch the walls out, probably another 3 or 4 spaces, and then as I showed you in that last video, I am going to attempt to fill all the walls in with green clay and make it look really nice. Over here you can see there's a bit of a ugly trail in the sky. It's not going to look so ugly once we get done, but I began building a railway because in this house we have 3 or 4 double chests completely full of cobblestone. Now while I want to transport that back to my main base, I do not want to run 100 times with a full inventory, so the idea, make an automated train cart and just send chests back and forth between me and my friend James, and we will put it into the chest at the base. So there we go. Hopefully that'll be the last update before I actually begin the building. Hopefully there's no more interesting anything to come. I just plan on punching out the walls, filling them in with green clay, and then we can get to the actual building bits. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are as well. Alright, hey guys, I am attempting to re-record this portion of the video because when I initially recorded it, I had the microphone a little too close to my mouth and I didn't realize it, so the audio sounds really messed up. I tried messing around with it in editing and I couldn't really fix it, so I'm hoping that I can do this and re-record it after the project has already been finished. This is way later on the next day, and I'm hoping that I went into creative mode real quick, and I'm hoping I can make the same kind of result as what I had in the initial video with the audio, hopefully sounding a little bit better. So while the whole grinder is done, I'm not going to show that off right now. That'll come later in the video, but right now I just want to try to recreate what I had earlier. So basically the next step here is that you need to build the bottom, and this will be a little bit different for everyone based on the extent of the spawner that you made. I went all out. I did the biggest I could possibly do, so mine was bigger and a little more difficult than yours might be if you're going for a little smaller size. But basically the idea is the slimes are going to be falling down into this section here, as you can see them doing here. And what you need to do is you need to fill it up with water and have it in a way that all the water runs and puts all the slimes into what I like to call the killing chamber. So it took a little while to get it all figured out, placing water around and digging holes, as you can see here, to get the water to flow right. Because when an area gets to be this big, water mechanics can be a little funky to get it to maneuver right. And there were a couple dead spaces in the water where water would stop flowing and it wouldn't push along. So it took me and my friend James some tweaking, but we finally managed to figure it out. So then once you get that all settled out, then comes the actual killing chamber itself. So I already have this set up. In the earlier video I put it together live on camera, but I am in creative mode now to show you guys this video. So I think what I'm going to do is go up top and make a mock killing room real quick so that I can show you exactly how it's done. Alright, so here we go. This is how you want to build the killing area. Okay. So, to start out, you can have this be pretty much whatever size you want. Some people do it 3, I know. So I'm going to make mine be 4, just so I make sure that it's, it's big enough and it's efficient, and this is the design I like to go for. So you're going to want to have it be 4 blocks by 3 blocks. And then you're going to want it to be 3 blocks tall as well. So let's just get that set up real fast. So there's the 3 blocks of space inside, and then you need to put a roof on it as well to hold the slimes in there. So one thing I forgot is I'm going to need a chest, and I'm going to need some hoppers. Okay, so basically how I have it set up is my chest is back here, and it's back there, and then the first hopper runs into that, and then into that. Alright, so then, however, you can pretty much set this up in any way. The hoppers don't need to be connected in any particular order, so long as they all run back into that center hopper and into that chest. So I'm just going to hook it up like that. Alright, and then the next step is with the signs. So the signs need to be placed in pretty specific areas. You're going to want the first one to go right here, and the second one right here. If you don't know, you can place it on top of hoppers by crouch clicking. Alright, so then you're going to want to put signs all the way down across this bottom row, and this too can be achieved by crouch clicking again, and you'll place on the front of the other signs, and they'll stack out across like this. So now while those ones go there, you're going to want to do the same thing all the way across the front to completely block the flow of water from coming out of here, because you're going to have flow blocks coming in here pushing the slimes into the killing area. Okay, so this is how it looks, just to show you again. 2 down here in the bottom, and then 4 across both of the front to keep the water from coming out, and then you want these 2 in here to keep the blocks flowing backwards this way. You could potentially build this 2 blocks high, except for the fact that the large slimes are a little over 2 blocks high, so were you to only make this be 2 blocks high, they would not be able to fit in here, and then you just have this big pool of slimes out here, and that is definitely not what we're after. Okay, so we have to now place the water, and we have to place the water in here in a very specific way, because in recent slime mechanic changes, if you were just to fill this back end up with water source blocks, the slimes would come in here and they would swim up and try to look for air, and when they were unable to find air, they would just come back out here. And they would just keep coming back out and going back in and coming back out, and you wouldn't actually be killing anything or getting any slime ball drops from them. So that obviously is not what we want to do. So the specific way of how you need to go about placing the water is first you need to put some blocks in here. These are just scrap blocks that we'll be taking out momentarily. Alright, so once you get them placed in there, the next step is to put the water in. So how you put the water in is you're going to take it to this closest block right near you, and you're going to put water. And you're going to do this all the way across the front of here. Now you're free to break these blocks out. I'm going to go back in survival just to show you how this looks. So if you look, if you come up here, it looks like there's air up here, okay? The water's running. It looks like you should be able to go up in there for air, but you can't. Even though it looks like there's air there, no matter how much you try, you can't fill your air bubbles back up because that is still a full block of water. So how this works for the slime AI is they think that they can get air if they swim up into these corners. So they keep trying, they swim up into these corners and they don't get any air, and then they will actually die. So that there is the killing chamber for the slimes. I hope that that made sense. I'm sorry that you didn't get to see me actually build it, but the audio quality of the original clip was just absolutely horrible, and I tried to fix it, but I just couldn't make it work in a way that I liked. So I figured my best alternative was to do this. I hope it made enough sense. So I will see you guys shortly in the next part of the clip. Okay, so we are now back after we've done a little bit of construction. We got the base room set up behind the killing chamber and running into the chest back here. Just a spot for us to set up while we're building. So I got the first platform done, so I just wanted to show you guys how that works. So, here it is. It's pretty simple really, it's just a flat platform. If you press on your keyboard F3 and G, it will open up the grid showing the chunks, and this is the slime chunk. So I have built mine to the maximum size that will spawn chunks because it fills up the entire grid. So the idea here is that light levels do not affect slime spawns at all whatsoever. So you could have every single one of these blocks be glowstone if you wanted and they would still spawn, but that's a little wasteful because, you know, it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to the nether and get all that glowstone. So with this pattern I have set up right now, the very middle block, if I press F3 to open up the light levels, you can see it right up here. This very middle block is a light level of 8, which is fine because mobs only spawn at a light level of 7 or lower. So this pattern right here with the redstone clay and then the glowstone blocks will make it so that slimes will spawn on this platform when we are over 24 blocks away, but no other mobs will. So that's basically how the slime grinder works, because unlike most mobs, slimes on their own are really weird creatures and they just like to bounce around and have a good time. So they will bounce around and move around all on their own and eventually get over to the edge and fall off. You can build some contraptions and whatnot with water flow to push them off, but I'm not going to get into that. I might later on, but this build's going to be big enough and they kill themselves enough on their own that I don't think we're really going to have to worry about it. So the only thing left for me to do is to build this platform over and over again. You want to leave 3 blocks between them. As you can see here, I have 3 blocks because the biggest slimes are just over 2 blocks high, so you need 3 blocks for them to be able to spawn. So now I'm just going to go through the process of repeating this platform all the way up until Y block 40, because Y block 40 is where slimes no longer spawn. So that's basically the whole video. I'll just finish it up and then show you guys what it looks like when it's all done and filled in. Just thought it was noteworthy to record placing the last block because that was a ridiculous amount of work and a ridiculous amount of trips to the mesa. So here we are with the final finished project, back to kind of show it off so you can see how it works. Finally finished filling in all the walls, put glass over the top. You can see everything down there. If you look, you can see a slime down there hanging out. Oh, and there's a big one that just fell in. There they are spawning up top even. So, yeah, you have to be outside of the 24 block range for them to spawn. So the way we have this set up, we can AFK up here on the glass and slimes will spawn. So, and the only other thing we have to do is light up here so the mobs can't get in at us. But we have this path of ladders that goes down from the bottom to get back up after we're done, and this is the faster route to get down to the bottom. Got a little gate here. And just in the course of us building, not that that's been a tiny feat, because this did take us a significant amount of time, but as you can see, the stuff we've dropped, as well as we've already got a pretty significant amount of slime balls going on in there. So this has been my video on how to build a massive over-the-top slime spawner. You can make this to any smaller tier that you want, and it should work. Maybe not quite so fast, but the design is sound, and you can tweak it to whatever you need. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you think I did a good job, a like would be awesome. And if you want to see more of my world and more tutorials like this, go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you later.